They're too difficult to kill.
It's something with the birds. I think Visage himself is okay. I don't think lowering his movement speed anymore is going to help. I don't think lowering his base armor further into the negatives is going to make a difference. I don't think it's his base damage. It's the birds. The bloody birds. You got to put them in a cage. You got to clip their wings.
The bloody birds.
You got to do something because they're out of control. But alas, we won't see Visage this game. And there are some other picks we can talk about.
You're on a mad Visage rant.
Well, yeah, that was intense, man. That got heated for a second. Shots fired at Visage. I'll put him by the wayside. Weaver, the final choice for MYM, and this is an interesting hero.
They don't have disabled for him, but I mean Weaver's a little weak. He's really weak in 6.80. I still think I think he's fine as a hero. It's just the way the game is played now. It's like sometimes it's just a lot of so much damage coming out as opposed to a lot of disables, and he does not do very well versus that. So yeah, we shall see.
Yep.
Whose lineup do you favor more?
All right, so let's take a look. I focused way too much on Visage and not enough on this draft. I have to favor the team with Dazzle, but I do think MYM have a slightly
This is just pure blind love for the hero?
Well, I just like his playstyle. How can you not like Dazzle? I think he's very fun.
I never said how can you. I never said how can you not like him. I said which lineup do you favor more?
Oh, I see. No, I think MYM is a little bit better. I think it's just a more well-rounded lineup. They've got Puck for initiation. They've got Weaver and SLTV for some hard carry action, and you know,
we see this Nature's Prophet pot him again.
Dazzle, yeah.
Wasn't that in the first 2 games, I believe?
30 seconds to battle.
Were they on the same team every time? I'm not. Yeah, actually, I think you're right. I'm not sold on this. Like Nature's Prophet, he's a good hero. I don't want to make it sound like I'm poo-pooing on Furion because he definitely plays a role, but he has some weaknesses. He's not that great in the early game. He has teleport. He can do some right clicks, but he's not that crazy. Overall, he makes your lanes a little bit weak. And Mirana as well. We keep seeing these like wannabe position 1. Like I think I'm a hard carry Mirana, and you're not, man. You're just not. You're not going to scale the same way as a Weaver or an Ember Spirit or a Doom, as we've seen already.
He's probably the worst position 1 hero that's commonly used as a position 1.
Yeah.
She's definitely the worst.
Morphling's better than Mirana as a position 1.
Morphling is better than Mirana.
And that's pretty bad. That's saying something.
Huskar is better than Mirana.
Yeah, as a position 1. I mean, Mirana's a really good hero. I think she should have pick priority, just not as a position 1.
She's good if you can offensive try or crutcher try lane with it. I think that she can do very well if she can get a lot of kills, but in a farm fest, she is just poo-poo.
Yeah, and I also think that this Weaver is going to have kind of a field day here. I think this is a really good Weaver game. He works so well against Veno. They've got the arrow if that can connect. Frostbite isn't enough of a disable.
I don't know. He's getting destroyed in lane, though.
Yeah.
Actually, both these heroes are getting destroyed in lane.
Mutual destruction here. And I actually wanted to pull up Weaver's stats this patch. I'm very curious what his win rate is on 6-8 because we've seen so little.
I can check it out for you.
I've got it up already.
Oh, okay.
I'm a step ahead of you here. I'm doing camera and looking up stats, Merlini. I'm really upping my game today. I'm feeling 110%.
Next level producer.
Yeah, next level.
So Invoker and the Puck in middle, both of them going for the base damage war. Exist starting off with a Blades of Attack, which is probably one of the most unusual Puck builds I've seen because you can just get a null. And phase boosts aren't that great on it. I mean, they're okay. They're situational, but I mean, like, do you really need also attack this early? Wow, they're playing super aggressively. We might actually see Puck orbing for a kill. Nope, he does not.
That is an interesting Puck opening. I really don't see that often. Nice phase shift there. We'll keep his salve on. So, all right, win rate on Weaver, Merlini. There's been 93 games played on 6.8 in competitive with Weaver. You want to take a gander at what his win rate is?
52.
Try 45.
Wow, that's really low.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So he is definitely
not
as strong on this patch. Yeah, it really is.
He hasn't been touched at all, has he? I don't think so.
No, that's not one where he's actually been nerfed as much as just the way the meta has changed. He suffers from a similar problem that Morphling does. He just takes too many items to come online. He basically needs Lincolns as a starting point, and then once he gets Lincolns, he still doesn't really hit that hard. He needs a Desolator or something after that before he really becomes scary. And there are just other carries like Ember Spirit that can do a lot more damage early on and kind of snowball a bit more effectively than your Weaver, who needs a lot of space in lane. He's doing well up here. He is 12-2 against the 10-2 Big Num. Maybe we should introduce these rosters as well. We were too busy talking about statistics. On the Radiant side, we've got the Insane Gamers, Chomi playing on the position 1 Marana. We've got Aloha Dance playing on the Crystal Maiden, also in the bottom lane. Ink Visitor supporting on the Venomancer down bottom. In the mid, it is FN playing on the Quas Wex Invoker, and then up top it is Big Num himself on the off lane, Nature's Prophet.
And on the side of MYM, we have Crit on the Shadow Demon, Mini on the Dazzle, Unicorn rounding out the tri-lane as the SLTV. We have Ace on the solo safe lane Weaver, and Exist on the solo mid Puckstar.
Puckstar, the Fairy Dragon. So everything looking pretty straightforward so far. Invoker getting slightly better than getting the better of Puck in the mid lane. Only by a couple CS, 12-3 versus the 9-4 Fairy Dragon.
I actually think Puck should win that pretty sizably.
Yeah, I guess Quas Wex, yeah, that low base damage.
Puck has a lot more base damage on Invoker.
Wow.
Invoker has 48, Puck has 60. So 12 base damage is huge.
Yeah, and Invoker also has 2 more branches than he does, so that even buffs it up just a little bit more that you don't see.
Yep.
So yeah, you're right. Puck really does have a big base damage advantage there. Down bottom, SLTV is kind of the big breadwinner here. 20-2 in terms of last hits to get things started, so that is definitely good news. And if you compare that to Marana, yeah, there's a big disparity there. 8-0 for Chomi.
Oh, here they go with the initiation.
And whoa, a nice lead. Unicorn will cancel.
That fake out.
Yeah, faking him, making him hop back, but they got what they came for. They're zoning this Marana so hard, and not only is SLTV getting a lot of farm,
there's a haste gank in mid, Crystal Maiden wrapping around.
Aloha Dance.
I don't know. This is super dangerous. This is always dangerous going on a Puck this early into the game.
Yeah. Puck saving the orb. He's going to try to turn it around on FN. He might be able to grab it. A great tornado buys him some time. Exist is the one to fall.
That tornado.
That was a really clutch tornado.
He should have jaunted to the orb and silenced him before the tornado, though. He was a little bit slow. He was like, wait, he's gonna actually just stand there and hit it, take it, but insane.
Oh, down bottom, Chomi's in some trouble. He is gonna fall. It would have been the first blood. One more auto attack, and Dazzle will be the one to secure that kill. And there's that setup. And boy, is it scary. Shadow Demon with the disruption. You get SLTV in position. And then as soon as SLTV is there with the Slithering Crush, you've got Dazzle with the Shadow Wave.
SD Dazzle is really strong.
That's dirty.
SD Dazzle is like unbelievably
so much darkness. The Shadow Priest and the Shadow Shaman. Not fair.
I'm just not a big fan of the no bottle Puck. Like, bottle is core on that hero in solo mid. You have to get it. You're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah. Down bottom, another initiation. Poison Touch flies on the Ink Visitor. They may want to dive this. Unicorn slithering forward, looking for an opening. But Aloha Dance will rejoin the party, throws out the Crystal Nova, and that will deter SLTV. Does keep Ink Visitor alive, and
Unicorn's doing a good job of not overextending. Yeah, like that's one big problem I see with SLTV. They overextend with Sprint on, and they just get crushed.
Aloha Dance, he's in some trouble. Nature's Prophet ulti flies, but this Shadow Demon actually doing a fair bit of damage. Unicorn will intercept the arrow to try and keep Crit alive. Venomous Gale flies. Dazzle does clear the heal. Level 4 Dazzle without Grave. Crit will be in trouble for
He has a GG Tango on him, though.
And SLTV, a lot of damage coming out on both sides. All 3 heroes on the side of MYM are
Crit is
very
prepared with that TP scroll, though.
Yeah, they'll make it out. So all of them survive despite it being a close call. Still Marana just not farming. 9-2 against the 30-4 SLTV. Even though they've all been zoned out of the lane, Marana is just in big trouble. Speaking of in trouble, in the mid lane, Mini getting aggressive onto the Invoker, but support will be inbound, and now the Invoker might be able to turn this around. The Gale does connect, Mini falls. Ooh, Dazzle getting a bit hyper-aggressive there. Not a big fan of that no point in Shallow Grave at level 4. I think that value point is worth the money, Merlini.
Yeah. Well, I'm just not. This Puck is getting crushed in middle. He has half the CS.
This whole time you've just been watching Puck, like.
Well, I mean,
I know how you like to pick on the mid heroes.
Level 2 Shadow Wave is all right when you have this many units, though, right? You have Shadow Demon as well as SLTV up in your face, and you also kind of need max Poison Touch too. So I can understand why he didn't get Grave, but at the same time, yeah, it did. I mean, he probably still would have died there too.
Yeah, maybe Puck could have at least come in and maybe tried to set up a kill. Yeah, I still think
it has
so
its pros.
Yeah, but you're right. This is one of these you want to be aggressive with Dazzle, so obviously you want to get those points in Shadow Wave to do maximum damage, and then level 1 Poison Touch is borderline useless. Level 2 is when it starts actually doing a lot of... I mean, level 1 does 140 damage, so it does a lot of damage for a level 1 spell, but it still isn't really that potent. So looking at the CS in mid, and wow, you're right. 17-7 versus the 32-13 Invoker. He is getting completely smashed. Invoker's level 8. Puck is only level 7.
Get that bottle, man. He should have just done the standard null into a bottle, into boots. That he went for the
What's he gonna do with this blade of attack?
Build it in face boots and then be useless.
That's so weird. And he's gonna find a CM and will burn a solo Dream Coil, waning Rift Orb, and should be able to finish him with right clicks. Hopefully, Gale comes in. Oh no, Exist. He's gonna let this Crystal Maiden get away. Oh
yeah,
no, maybe Inquisitor will fall. Arrow slightly off the mark. Unicorn doesn't want to commit for it. Now around the backside, Nature's Prophet comes in. Puck gets picked off. Disruption onto the Invoker. They'll lose the Shadow Demon as well. MYM just crumbling right now. What is happening? Shiena Cake set. Oh my word, Merlini. It's a 3-for-0 in the Radiant Jungle.
Insane.
That was, yeah, insane gaming. That's like... That was just a disaster. I mean,
it's just because the Puck's too far behind. Like, if he were one level higher, or if he had phase boost, he would have killed it right there, and then they could have escaped. But they had to come in a little bit too far. They bought time for Venomancer to come in. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with this Puck just not doing well in mid. His risky build is not paying off.
Is phase boots Puck good?
It's okay, but without bottle, it's awful.
Yeah, I mean, power treads are the go-to boots for Puck.
You can even go with just brown boots. Like, brown boots are not bad. You don't really need the high HP if you're good at phase shifting.
I mean, Puck is so good at controlling runes. He's not the most mana-effective hero, certainly at the early levels, because he does so much magic damage. I don't know. Even just
I know, it's terrible.
I know, yeah. But I don't know if it's good, is what I was... Yeah, I mean, even just burning the solo Dream Coil on Crystal Maiden and then not being able to secure the kill. Yes. That's a scary precedent in and of itself.
He's out leveled by 2 levels now, so this FN guy in mid is going to have a field day. He has phase and drums. Exist doesn't even have phase boots.
Yeah.
Like, this is just atrocious. Well, their lineup is all about early kills, though. With the Puck, with this aggressive tri-lane, with the Slaughter, they're all about getting massive amounts of kills, and I don't know if it's going to happen. Exist with 2 supports wrapping around in middle, but FN and Aloha Dance, very secure position. Oh, Aloha Dance might actually scout it out.
Oh, Venomancer coming around the side, will connect with a Gale.
This is an awful position for these two.
Yeah, Crit and Mini are just in no man's land. Mini will fall, still doesn't have a point in grave. Shadow Demon with the defensive disruption will buy him some time, but Tornado will be enough to finish.
Look at that guy. Tornado will walk away. He's so cool. He knows he has to kill. That's something that Jimmy would do.
That was a Jimmy play right there that just like, I got this. Brush it off.
Well, I mean, it's not only that, it's like you're confident in your ability to kill people. Looks like Ace is in a little bit of trouble, but he doesn't have a time lapse.
Got that shit goofy. It's all good. He will get the tower as well. Puck comes in and actually gets the last hit. Now Puck completely out of mana. Once your plan exists, okay, there's a Sprout coming out. Chomi gets stuck inside Puck with the panic phase shift, and of course he falls. There is some support here for MYN. Perhaps they can secure some cleanup kills. Both Big Num and Aloha Dance are reasonably low, but they're just not finding the opening. Big Num, he's trying to buy some time until he can pour it out. Still 8 seconds. Weaver can't find him. We see they're looking in the trees. And now Mini, totally out of mana, does take some damage. Dazzle back there doing the wave. Cold Snap comes out onto the Shadow Demon.
At the end of the day, it's a 1-for-0.
It's a 1-for-0. Everyone just walks away. MYM, they can't secure these kills. This is bad. 8-1 already. 4,000 experience lead, only about a 1,500 gold lead, but...
What do you think of Insane's logo?
Insane's logo? Well, we'll hold that thought, though, for a second. As Venomancer, he's in some trouble.
He misses the silence!
Well... They got the kill. Puck got the kill at that, but yeah, not ideal. Oh, Slardar gets picked off.
Because of the miss silence, now Slaughter dies.
Yeah.
He got galed. Like, oh my gosh. Puck is costing them.
Man, Puck might not be out of the clear. Invoker, he wants to dive this. He'll turn around. Puck did finally pick up a bottle, so that should make you a little happy there, Merlini.
Yeah.
Woohoo! 10-minute bottle. And he's got his phase boots now. So that's something. Still 2 levels behind the Invoker, though. In Puck, I guess he's making progression, but if you look at Invoker, he's got Phase Drum, Magic Wand, and now Staff of Wizardry, and he's got the Ring of Regen as well. So that's I think that there's a difference there.
We have a winner.
Look at the net worth chart. 5,000 versus 2,000.
We have a winner here. Ooh. Okay, well, Mirana now. Mirana was shut down very heavily at the start, but Invoker has picked up a lot of the slack. Prodham's only number 5 compared to the number 4 SLTV in terms of net worth. It only got 1,000 gold disparity, so not the end of the world. And Mirana has been fairly active in kills using Moonlight Shadow already once. When those 2 supports were dying. They're trying to get level 6 on supports right now. Crit is only level 4. Dazzle's level 6, but he doesn't have his ultimate yet, so no bigs. Yeah, I don't know. 3 Shadow Wave is pushing it.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of these. I feel like with Dazzle, you really need to pick one or the other. You need to be the Poison Touch build where you roam around, you're setting up kills, you're trying to get as close to that. You're maxing that for the slow for the setup, and then also the damage.
I'm a big fan of the 3-1-1.
Yeah, or you need to go Shadow Wave primary and you know, just use that for your heal and what have you. And it's different depending on your lineup. But doing both, it's just too greedy. That value point in Grave is just so good.
Maybe he had Arcanes, I think he could do it, but like...
Yeah, and the mana sustain for this, that's a whole nother point. Yeah, but yeah, I agree, I like the 3-1-1 as well. That's my preferred Dazzle build, though it definitely does not work in every game. That is not one of those cookie-cutter builds that you can use just willy-nilly all over the place.
Yeah, this Invoker's out of control, though. Level 11 on him.
He's 4-0-2, man.
Yeah, they have a wall of wards in the middle to protect him. He has that 1 value point in Exort, and things are...
Yeah, look at all that Wex.
Not looking bueno for MYM here, because they have the Snowball lineup. They have SLTV that needs to get big. They have a Puck who can play very aggressively if he gets an early blink. They have a Weaver who almost has his Lincolns, but I mean, Weaver can't solo carry, not against this.
Yeah, I mean, Weaver is farming really well, though. You have to admit, he is tangoing with this fed Invoker. So there is some hope, but again, Morphling Syndrome, I'll miss a kill as Dazzle gets picked off down bottom. It's just a solo kill. If only he had Shallow Grave. Now it's probably a long-range arrow.
They have a quad stack.
Yeah. So, and it's kind of a shame as well, because SLTV farmed so much better than Mirana in the early stage. He will be able to grab his blink.
This is the very decisive point for MYM. Can they capitalize on this early blink SLTV? Can they get a lot of kills? They need to probably kill Invoker like once, maybe twice, but I don't know if they can kill him. Like, he has 4-step now, so I don't think he's going to die in the blink stomp, and then maybe a Puck is there too, they can.
Yeah, but that Morphling Syndrome is definitely kicking in.
Look how aggressively he is playing. Like, he's all up in their jungle by himself. Now he's pushing the T2 by himself. This is how little he fears.
Should he be scared of this Puck? He's 2 items up on him right now. He's not a reason to be scared.
He should be scared of the SLTV. Here we go. This is important.
And they will reveal the blanks. So, FN, there's the 4th stat.
Oh, he misses the coil.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. This is just not his day.
They need to pause, go get that Keurig going, grab another cup of coffee, and then come back.
They need to get a stand-in.
Like that one, that's bad. That. I don't know if it would have been a kill with the Dream Coil, but it definitely would have helped. It should have been a kill.
I think so, yeah.
And Mini down bottom. Level 7 now has the value point in Grave, and well, Weaver will come down. Perhaps they can grab a kill on CM. Nope, those wards are going to do too much, and the Moonlight Shadow flies. See,
as you said, him being greedy, like he's super greedy. No offense.
Oh, crit! He's in some trouble. One more auto attack should do it. FN, he's getting very greedy here. Now the orb comes in, and FN with a nice tornado will still secure the kill on Shadow Demon, and he walks away. Wow, really showing how out of control he is.
What a player.
What a player indeed.
Arrow connects on Mini. There is no saving him from this one.
You did, Dazzle. Ace. Yep. He'll go ahead and...
Poor Ace. He's like, man, my team's just feed lord today.
Seriously, Ace is doing well, man. He's actually close to a well-timed Lincolns. He has the core pieces, just a couple hundred off. And, I mean, he's farm for farm with Invoker trailing by only about 200 on net worth. He's really doing well given how far the team behind his team is through to 12. And Weaver will pop forward. What? With a huge Slitherine Crush. That's a kill on Veno. One on Mirana as well. Tornado flies. EMP comes out and will drain only no one's mana actually. Now Invoker could be in some trouble here. Yeah, there's no catching a.
It's the race car build.
Lost Wex Invoker.
Regeneration.
Race car. So at least they grab 2 kills though. Crit poking maybe a bit too far forward. Another illusory orb. This time he connects with a Dream Coil onto Aloha Dance and FN. But oh boy, the Shadow Demon falls to the Wrath of Nature. In comes the SLTV. They finish off the Invoker.
That was big.
Well done.
They finally killed the Invoker, which is huge. And MYM has definitely hit the timing with the Blink Dagger. This Blink Dagger was just so crucial by Unicorn. If they didn't have that, they'd have to wait a couple of minutes. Qcyber gets a little bit further ahead. But now the momentum has completely shifted. Now Weaver has his Lincolns as well as Boots. And now the T1 will fall. So now, I mean, MYM is coming right back in the game with this. Exist is very close to his Blink Dagger. If he gets his tower kill, he will have it.
Quite a recovery. There he goes, Vay. He actually got it. Weaver now has his Lincoln.
That's the thing I like about Puck. Like, you don't need items to do that well with him. He's not that item dependent of a hero.
Ace will port up top. Crits here as well. They set up onto Big Num. He'll try and port out, but he's just not going to be able to make it. Weaver has the deeps with that minus armor, and they will get a much-needed kill on Nature's Prophet, who did, by the way, pick up a Hand of Midas. He's got his first
level 4 Soul Catcher.
That Necronomicon up as well. Yeah, that Soul Catcher. That's a good point. That Soul Catcher.
You don't see that leveled up very often.
Yeah. Did a lot of work there, actually.
Yeah. I don't think they would have. I don't think they would have burst him down without it.
Yeah, and the minus armor from the Scarabs on top of that. Well, that's scary. No wonder he died so quickly, huh? Yep. So Weaver's now the #1 on the net worth chart, 1,000 up on the Invoker. Oh, how quickly the tides have turned here, Merlini.
Yes.
All of a sudden, this Weaver, he's having a field day. 1,700 in the bank.
They knew that SLTV had a blink was a thing because Invoker got caught out with it mid, and they seemed like they just got caught out by surprise. The Venomace is pretty important because he needs to keep up the Venom wards for the push, and he's the mech bearer. And Podum's pretty important too because she's their 1 position. So like those 2 important heroes got caught out very early with the blink. This tower is going to be deniable. We may see it engage here. Oh, he missed. Oh boy.
Value ward right there.
We all saw that. Unicorn.
That was just a bit of a fail. That Plague Ward. Wow.
Plague Ward are strong though. Don't underestimate them.
God, they have so many hit points. Weaver going for a courier kill here. It is empty, but he won't get it, and we'll just time lapse back. Or will he? That one last Gemini? Wow. That's a clutch little play you can do right there. The Gemini, and then you time lapse back. I like that.
He's so cool.
I like that. Ace is a cool guy. Can we get some sunglasses on this Weaver, please? Can we get a new cosmetic coming in here? Cyborg Matt
So
style.
how do they deal with this Weaver now? Like they don't have anything to shut him down, and they let him free farm for a little bit too long. Yeah, they got a lot out of it because Puck got crushed, and their tri-lane did not do too terribly, but yeah, at the same time, they just let this Weaver completely unchecked. 2-0-2 on him. Treads and Lincolns and 1,100 gold, 19 minutes, and that is scary.
Yeah, and
that's scary.
This is the reason I favored the MYM roster a little bit more than Qcyber. I just imagine if Puck won his lane mid like he should have.
Oh yeah, oh my goodness.
Like they'd be insane right now. It's sort of ironic, insane, not the insane team, but Weaver. I mean, we still haven't even really seen him participate all that much. Like, yeah, he's picked up some kills, he's come when he's needed to, but we haven't.
The big part is the split push. Like, he can split push them to death.
Yeah, but I mean, we haven't even seen how much damage he'll do on top of targets that have the minus armor on.
They're doing Roshan. Like, they don't need...
As they should. Their dire side, they've got a SLTV. They can drop him pretty quickly. Even if our Radiant team is privy to it, which I don't think they are. They don't have...
Invoker has to be there. He has to be there for Tornado, like, right now. Yeah. It's too late, though.
They'll scout it out. They're like, oh, hey, okay, Roche is dead. And SLTV really the one to grab the Aegis. Now they want to fight FN. He throws the Tornado, throws the EMP. Defensive disruption will buy Crit some time. Does save his mana as well. Great timing on that disruption. Though he is cold snapped, he'll just try and port out. And I think he'll survive.
Nice play from Crit.
Very well done. That was a huge disruption right there.
Yeah, he's 0-4-4, but he's still making good plays.
Certainly has been.
Well, now Q Insane, they feel the pressure. They're like, wow, this Weaver is out of control, and this SLTV has Blink and Aegis now, and what are we going to do? Then what they need to do is get a lot of kills, take down the T1 on top. They don't need to get like huge farm run. Most importantly, she can't die in team fights,
and that might be a problem because she's got no stats. Problem. She's a super squish master right now with the phase boots, Maelstrom,
squish master,
and a Ring of Basilius. I mean, their only stats are coming from the Magic Wand. That is a squish master if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I would like to see maybe a drums on her too, so she needs some HP. But at the same time, she doesn't have that much farm. She got shut down pretty hard in that tri lane.
Yeah.
Well, Weaver is happy to farm up. SLTV, I'm sure, is happy to farm up too. Like, they don't have any solution for BKB either.
Big there is a mech up on Venomancer, which is pretty good for the Radiant side. No mech on the Dire. They've got double Blinks and a Lincolns, but no mech underway, which... I don't know, man. I like the mech. I even like mech on Dazzle. Urn is a good item on Dazzle, but they need a mech.
Yep, short and simple. They need a mech.
Short and simple, that's all. So all it comes down to.
So Q&Sane's in a really difficult position right now. If they split farm, they'll get killed by SLTV. If they push, they'll get crushed with the Aegis. And if they try and push together, they'll get split pushed by the Weaver. So, like, all their options are bad.
Yeah.
They have to choose the lesser of the evils, which I don't think they should push. I think they'll get crushed if they push. They got crushed on bottom without the Aegis. So I think with the Aegis, they'll definitely lose the fight.
Yeah.
I think their best bet is to try and farm up and.
I think they need to find some ganks. I think their best.
Yeah,
like,
but who do they gank? Like, you can't kill a puck with their lineup.
Uh-oh, Ink Visitor, speaking of ganks. Easy money.
You can't kill the puck. You can't kill the Weaver. Okay, and then if you kill a SLTV, you have to kill him twice. And then the 2 supports are unimportant if you get a kill on them, so...
Yeah, and oh wow, I thought Weaver might get clobbered by an arrow. Instead, they find a kill on Dazzle. And that one was my bad. Sorry about that. Looks like
Big gets crushed on bottom. And
yeah, down
this
bottom.
This is the thing, like, Nature's Prophet gets obliterated by a Blink SLTV. Like, there is no escaping unless he has the worst RNG with badges you've seen.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet has a Necro book, so it looks like he wants to do a bit of Rat Dota, but...
This is... You can't Rat Dota their lineup.
Yeah.
I think he needs a Hex. They need a Hex so they can kill Puck and Weaver. They don't have any disables, and items have to compensate for that.
Uh-oh, Puck on the high ground. He'll phase shift. Aloha!
What was that phase shift for?
That was... Okay, that didn't go the way I was picturing it in my head. Now Chomi will finally come out.
That was dubious.
Just harassing him. Yeah, that was just weird. I don't know.
Oh, I thought he was gonna like right-click him a couple times, silence, orb.
Yeah, instead he just kind of face shifts and ran
I don't know.
away.
Actually, Crystal Maiden has 1100 HP. You won't kill her with a simple orb.
Yeah, well now she's got the Ogre Club up as well. I kept thinking that top engage was gonna like blossom into something, but it was just Weaver and Morana staring at each other. So that was fail right there. See, one thing I don't like about this Dazzle build is I really don't agree with going 3 points in Poison Touch and then switching in. He did a 3-0-3 and then at level 7 went into Shallow Grave, and I feel like if you're gonna commit that much to Poison Touch, 4 is the big value point. That's when you get stunned. Yeah. Like, there's no point in leveling up Touch to Poison Touch to level 3 if you're not gonna go level 4 at level 7, in my opinion. So I don't really understand, like, if he was gonna do that all along, then he should have just gotten that point in Shallow Grave much earlier on and then leveled up Poison Touch, as that wasn't his primary thought anyhow. But you like to harp on mid players, I like to harp on Dazzle players.
I agree
what are
with
you
you
gonna
on
do?
Dazzle player.
Yeah. It's really about that level 4. Now, a few patches ago, pre those Dazzle changes, level 5 Poison, or level 3 Poison Touch was where it's at. But, yeah,
Dyer's middle tower is under siege.
The mid. Oh, FN will get caught inside of a disruption. And now there's SLTV slithering crush. They'll drop this Invoker. A big kill for MYM. Exactly what they needed. FN still playing very. Look at this positioning, man. So aggressive by himself.
Yeah.
Just way in.
He was doing well early, but not anymore. The SLTV is proving to be more than Qcyber can deal with. And yeah, that's a big problem. They can't split push. SLTV just destroys that. First, Nature's Prophet got caught out on bottom, and then Invoker got caught out on mid. And I don't think that's the best option for them, because like, what are they waiting for? What's their end game when they split push?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're in trouble here. We'll see in this mid lane. MYM doing a lot of damage to that tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, Weaver continuing that Rat Scarab style, pressuring the bottom tier 2, or pardon me, the top tier 2. Venno trying to tango, but Weaver will grab the kill. Oh, Unicorn taking a lot of damage. He will get a grave. Don't forget he has the Aegis here, so even if he falls, it's not that big of a deal. A little bit of the wasted grave, but that's all right. They buy some time. They force out the Necro book, but SLTV will pop right back up into an arrow. Now Puck comes in, a 3-man Dream Coil. A nice bit of burst damage as well. Takes about 3 of them to half health. Does not secure a kill. Tornado, EMP fly, and they're off the mark. Now MYM will retreat. Still a great exchange. Weaver secured the kill on the top tier 2 tower. They got what they came for.
Aegis was about to expire anyways.
Yeah. So all in all, a fine exchange.
For MYM.
Yeah, for MYM, yeah, exactly. A good effort from Insane, though. They killed SLTV, and then they had the setup. They almost killed him again. They connected
They
to
burned
the
out his mineral with the Necro book too, so he was useless.
So it was still a good play by Insane. If they could have killed that SLTV, it would have been huge, but still not too shabby. Like you said, Aegis was going to expire anyway, so not the most valuable kill there.
Now Weaver has a Manta, which means that if Invoker won't be able to kill him with the Orchid, he just saves the Manta for the Orchid. And a lot of people don't like Manta on Weaver, but I think it provides a decent amount of utility. His damage is still fairly low, 175 after having 2 major items.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's getting all these towers.
Well,
not that one, but
It's tier
we're
1
still
mid will
pushing
get
down
denied.
on the towers.
Yeah, and Weaver is also level 17, the highest level by 3 Invoking Nature's Prophet to the next highest at only 14. So Ace he's really balling out of control at this point. Still about 2,000 ahead of Nature's Prophet on the net worth chart, which is pretty incredible considering NP has himself a Hand of Midas, which he went for very early on. So yeah, Ace is just doing some serious
Well, for
work.
the Shadow Blade versus SLTV, bro. You need the sheep.
Ooh. You know, it's kind of interesting that the Shadow Blade on Nature's Prophet was core for so long. There was like that classic build for of Hand of Midas into Shadow Blade into Sheep Stick, and then whatever you need from there, whether it's a crit. And that had sort of gone by the wayside a bit, and we stopped seeing Shadow Blade so often in Nature's Prophet going for more utility-based items, whether it's a Necro Book straight into Sheep or an Orchid. And now we're seeing this resurgence of Shadow Blade, and I don't understand why, especially in this match against a SLTV.
The cooldown's way too long on it now.
Yeah.
Like 30 seconds is compared to how good Blink Dagger is. No mana, 12-second cooldown. Okay, Shadow Blade, 30-second cooldown, 75 mana, and it's not as useful because you can get dusted and whatnot, and sentryed and gemmed, and it just, I mean, it used to be good so Nature's Prophet could do Rat Dota and then have an escape vehicle, not only for the invisibility, but also that little burst of speed that you get when you use Lothars. But people are just privy to it. It's a lot harder to rat the way Nature's Prophet used to be able to, and I just don't see it as a cost-effective item anymore. This isn't a rat game.
Yeah, and this also just isn't a rat game, and that's how he's itemizing right now.
Exist already has a gem.
Yeah, I mean, this Nature's Prophet, and that's part of the problem as well. Things are a little bit disproportionate. Like on the gold graph, it's only a 2,500 gold lead for MYM, about a 4,000 experience lead, but a huge amount of the Q-Insane farm is on Nature's Prophet. He is their leading farmer on net worth, and his items are just Rat Dota based, and some of it is that Hand of Midas investment. So, the gold graph, I think, is very misleading. I think MYM are in a much better position than the 9 to 14 would have you believe here.
Yes, and they just have much better late game. And the heroes that have the farm aren't the heroes that you want. Like, Potom is number 6 on net worth, only above the supports.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. Wow, Chomi is really underfarmed. Only level 12 as well. I mean, his items just
they just have hard heroes to split the farm with. Like, Invoker needs farm too. He should have his Orchid. Yep, he has his Orchid. Nature's Prophet needs a lot of farm too, but he can farm the jungle and other places. But he's just getting crushed by the SLTV. And MYM, they also have a few heroes that need farm. Puck and Weaver and SLTV, but the difference is they can split push.
And SLTV has his BKB up now as well. He's yet to use it, still that 10-second charge, and that will be scary in these upcoming team fights. It appears that Q-Insane do want to push. They have a 4-man squad up at this top tier 1, but while bottom for Asgard, will be 3 in just a moment's notice. They finish off the tier 1. MYM trying to get into a good position here. Dazzle did port up, but they will start to escape. It is just Weaver down here. And he's got another 3,500 in the bank, so whatever Weaver wants to grab next, maybe a Desolator wouldn't be a bad choice here.
Yeah, I think Dezo is fine. Especially since SLTV went Maelstrom for some reason instead of Dezo.
Yeah, and especially if they're split pushing, that does work well for knocking down towers, so it would make some sense. Puck also has the Yule's Scepter of Divinity sitting in his inventory, which is great news for him. How do you feel about the Maelstrom on SLTV, though?
I think Dezo's better. Dezo AC.
Yeah, but so if Weaver says, I'm getting Dezo SLTV, pick something else, is Maelstrom like the close second that you would go for next in this kind of a game?
I'd probably go Armlet.
I would think just an AC. That's the classic.
Armlet or AC?
Yeah, that's like the classic SLTV is just more minus armor, get yourself some armor. SLTV is not a terribly high armor hero because he's strength-based.
Maybe he's just tired of Nature's Prophet, though. I mean, like, it's mediocre. He doesn't need to defend against a split push.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Weaver just obliterating the Crystal Maiden down here, and that'll be enough to grab his Desolator. There you go. He'll right-click that Bad Daddy in one fell swoop, and now the Courier will bring it to him.
Insane's just falling apart.
Yeah. Very quickly here. The graphs are just toppling.
It all started with the SLTV blink. Them getting that kill on Invoker, or almost getting the kill on Invoker, and then they got the double kill on bottom, and then they killed Nature's Prophet solo, Invoker solo. Now they can't split push anymore, or they'll keep feeding. And then that one item alone just completely changed the whole entire game.
Yep. You're absolutely right. Up top, Exist almost gets nailed by an arrow. Will phase shift. Looked like Exist. I mean, he's made a great turnaround regardless. A lot of that is support from his team, knocking down the towers, having to blame from SLTV, like you mentioned, but it seems like he's playing a little bit better as well. It seems like he's woken up from his slumber.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, at least. Second Roche has fallen out, dropped in just a matter of seconds, and the second Aegis did go the way of SLTV. Oh no, pardon me, it did go the way of Weaver. Which makes a little bit more sense. Weaver's a really good Aegis carrier as well.
Mjolnir is really good, actually, now. So I guess if SLTV gets a Mjolnir, you can just run in man mode, because then BKBs, and they'll just take insane amounts of damage from the shield.
That will definitely happen.
Mjolnir is underrated, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a safe assessment. It's a pretty good item if you're just looking for raw damage.
That deep?
That deep.
Unless you don't have a good hero to wield the lightning.
The buff.
Yeah, the buff.
I don't know, what is that buff called? I don't even know.
I don't know either. But Qcyber doesn't have anyone to hold it.
Yeah. Yeah, you need it on one of those frontliners.
Static charge?
Static charge? Is that right?
I don't know.
Yeah, static charge, that's it.
Static charge, yeah.
Yep. Has a very distinctive look to it.
It looks surrounded by lightning.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It looks like you're just like you're like going halvesies with Zeus, you know, like you're a Zeus hybrid temporarily. You're just like lightning is flowing out of you.
Mm-hmm. I forgot, someone said that there should be like a cool item effect for a particular item that wasn't gotten that much, and then just more people would get it.
Probably, I'm sure.
Probably. Oh, S and Y. It was S and Y with a MAME.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that the other day. Yeah, MAME is like, the graphic is basically non-existent. I think it's like a couple of little red pixels here and there, like you're bleeding, but...
Yeah, if it was like Rupture or something, they
yeah,
just like drip blood awesome. Because they're MAMEd.
Or even like coup de grace, you know, every time PA gets a crit, it's just like this giant blood spiral. Like you hit a vessel, you know? That's
yeah,
part of the reason
MAME's
I like
PA. You bruised the hero.
Yeah, MAME's like, oh, wait, I didn't even notice the slow. I'm just not a big fan of SLTV in general. I think the MAME is the least useful. It's really the movement speed is where I see the value. 16% movement speed on the SNY.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's huge. The MAME is, you could get rid of MAME off that item and I don't think it would really like affect the rate that it's picked up all that much.
Yeah, they need a better effect for...
I mean, does anybody buy that and just go, alright guys, I got some MAME, we're slowing them, let's get these kills? Like, I've said no one ever.
No. It's not a good
It's
idea.
only a 15% chance as well.
The recipe cost is not good enough for what it gives. It's not as good as Yasha.
Oh yeah, Yasha is just sometimes just a value. Yasha is a pretty darn good value.
No one gets a value saying
yes, value.
Yeah, that's the opposite of value.
Yeah, the only time it's like valuable is if you're gonna go for a quick halberd. I like it on a couple heroes. Like if you're running like a support skeleton king, the value Sanj isn't bad, but that's a pretty rare instance.
Yeah, if you need survivability, you just go mech.
Yeah, well that's yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
mech is a good
why would
value.
you ever get a Sandra or a mech on a like a support hero? Like even the strength heroes, that's the problem. Like like Bristle, they go mech.
Yeah,
Viper also goes mech. Like,
yeah. I do like halberd though. I do really like that item.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a big fan of halberd, so that's the only time that the Sanj can.
I think mech's actually OP.
Mech? Yeah, it is. Are you kidding? It's like
mech's super OP,
dude. That's why I always like. It's one of the points I always go back to when I see a team that like just doesn't buy mech. I'm like,
yeah.
Do you guys have a calculator? Like, just think about how much it can heal for maximum of 1,000. For 2,300 gold. It gives you great armor, gives you great stats, a little bit of regen. It has like the easiest build-up of any item in the game. Right? Small pieces. It gives you 2 recipe pieces. Like it's amazing. Mech is.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes all the other 2,000 gold items look terrible.
Yeah. Mech is what I think about before bed every night. Okay. I look up at that Dazzle poster above my bed and I think, Mechanism, please give me dreams tonight. It is that good of an item. It's
Please carry me tomorrow in my fruitful days of Dota.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Big Numb. He's in some trouble. He does a little bit of extra damage to the Fairy Dragon, but Exist does survive. Dream Coil's been burned. Ace takes a Gale, but he's Weaver, so he'll just Shikuchi away. Nice 200 gold bounty on those Necro Book units. So this has actually been a good exchange for MYM. Ultimately, they walk away, and if you really think about it, Necro Book kills are basically like hero kills. 200 gold is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gold. And uh-oh, here we go. Now the Seapoint's going to break out. Another beautiful defensive disruption will mitigate the effects of the EMP. Shadow Demon still falls, but the rest of the team is laying in the right clicks. Crystal Maiden gets taken out. Ace going ham in the front lines. He might be able to get this Venomancer, and he does. That makes it a 1 for 2. The 3 supports get taken out. Shadow Demon in exchange for Veno and Crystal Maiden.
How did Crystal Maiden farm a BKB?
Uh-oh, Nature's Prophet. He's found himself a Dazzle. Dazzle's going to stand his ground, though. Out comes the ultimate. Does throw Poison Touch. Nature's Prophet. He's scared. He's scared, Merlini.
Scared of the dazzle?
Yeah, well, his friends came in as well, but oh, Big Num, you're in trouble. That's what you get for trying to pick on the dazzle.
Yep.
There you go.
I dream about mech.
I dream about mech. It's good. It's really
good. It's just like Sange and Vanguard and all these like crappy items. They're only crappy because mech's like a 10 times better alternative.
That's like how much is a Sancho? Is it like 2,200? And mech is like
2,000.
2050. Yeah. And geez, you can't even compare it to mech. Oh, ooh, dazzle.
Yeah, you really can't.
Like it's just you're in different worlds, man. You're in different tiers.
Wow, Unicorn.
Yeah, Unicorn going ham right now. FN will they'll all survive, and actually Unicorn will get turned around on here. Nature's Prophet does buy back as well. You know what turned that around? The bloody mech. That was the mech that stopped SLTV from getting those kills, although Ace is there. He'll finish off the Veno, doing some damage to Chomi. And this Weaver will fall. He has the Aegis.
He's seriously like 1v5ing their team right now.
Yeah, he really is. It's just him. The Tornado will throw him up in the air. The Lincolns, they might have the CCs to take him out this time, though. Oh, there comes the Shallow Grave.
He's dead.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, defensive disruption. Oh, the heal coming out. They did everything they could to keep that Weaver alive, but just not enough.
Poor Weaver. Can't solo their whole team yet.
Yeah, not quite, but
SLTV working on his AC, and I fully expect MYM to be able to close this game out once the third Roshan comes online. Yeah, Qinsane has more kills, but the gold lead, 12,000, firmly in favor of MYM, and they have by far the better late game. Weaver's becoming a big problem. SLTV, once he gets his AC, can just reshot a couple of people.
Yeah,
no bigs.
It's getting ridiculous.
Dyer's
Sheep stick
top
up, and
tower is
even
under
the Shadow
siege.
Demon. He's got a Necro book.
Dyer has fortified its structures.
What's that about?
If you can farm it, why not?
Farm it. Oh, Dazzle did pick up mech as well. That's good.
I would like to see a 4-step, I think, on Shadow Demon before. But
yeah,
whatever.
4-step is good, but at this point, it almost feels like they've sealed the deal. Like you said, they're ahead, and when you have the late game, that's usually a good sign. Just looking at the net worth chart, I mean, Weaver 23K, and yeah, next highest is Nature's Prophet at 16. An obvious disparity.
Big Num still very close to his sheep, so he just needs about 800 gold. But I mean, one sheep is just not going to do that much, especially if I went at 4-step. Let's say I guess I'll do a decent amount, but I mean, you're not going to be able to see the sun since he has BKB. And Weaver has a ton of HP, and he has Grave, so he can time-lapse back to his original HP, and he has a Lincoln, was going to be difficult anyways, and a Manta, so I guess it'd be good versus Puck, since he seems to be the hardest to kill.
Yeah. Really, they just are lacking the damage. This is where the position 1 Mirana shows how weak it is.
But she has a Manta and a Maelstrom.
Yeah, I mean, she hits like for 175 or so. I mean, she's hits okay, but just like her compared to the Weaver, it's not even a competition. Weaver's hitting for over 300. He's like doubling the amount of damage she puts out.
And he has Geminate.
Yeah, and he has Geminate on top of that. That's what makes him a carry. Like, what part of Mirana's kit makes her a good hard carry position 1?
600 range.
Nothing. Okay, 600 range.
That's
That's
about
fair
it.
enough. Spell-wise, though.
Spell-wise, though, nothing.
That's what makes her good as a semi-carry, because she has all that magic damage to, you know, hit a little bit of momentum, and then if she gets those kills, a very kill-based hero with that magic damage, she can transition into a little bit of a late-game carry, because she has agility, but she doesn't scale nearly as well as, you know, even a SLTV is pretty scary if he gets
He has the
far.
bash.
Yeah, the problem with SLTV is getting there. That's the hard part. But once he's there, man, he's pretty solid. Up top, there's going to be an array of misses. The Slithering Crush off the mark, Tornado off the mark, but uh-oh, in comes Big Num. Unicorn's in some trouble. He's all by his lonesome.
That double sheep.
Radiant structures have been fortified.
Well, that was also a 3v1, so I wouldn't read too far into it.
Double sheep doing work. I didn't even know Invoker had farm going up. So Insane will be able to hold on for a little bit longer. Roshan is up right now, so Qcyber could potentially make a move for that. Unfortunately, I don't think they have the damage to take it down fast enough. And SLTV, does he have buyback? Yes, he does. He has 3,000 gold, so he was very close to his AC prior to his death.
Oh, little piggy up top. Big Num's in some trouble. He'll try and do some damage to this Dazzle, but won't be enough for a kill. Mini stands his ground, and they secure that kill. Meanwhile, down bottom, Weaver, he's just going to unload the cannons on that Crystal Maiden. Now Inquisitor, he's in some trouble. There's just nothing slowing down Ace here. The Inquisitor will scoot to the low ground, but, well, at least he'll draw the fire away.
Oh, it was a TP. I think if he TP on the high ground, he would have lived.
Yep. Crit.
Maybe he's still going for the TP. No.
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah, I think if he went for the TP right here or immediately after the 4-step, he would have lived.
Yeah.
Because Weaver's ranges are awful. Not a 600 range hero.
Yeah. Yep.
So now Roshan is up, StarLadder is up, and they can easily take it out. They just need a tiny bit of gold for that AC, just 150, but they should easily come out after this. And I think after that, I mean, that's the nail in the coffin for Insane.
And Dazzle with the Ag Scepter now, a great choice. We've talked about it a number of times in our casting hours, Merlini, but a good Ag upgrade on the Dazzle, no doubt about it. And it will give him a little bit of extra survivability. Third Roche now goes down. Aegis to the Weaver, who grabbed the yummy cheese. Oh, it'll be SLTV. He's going to fill up that Slytherin belly with some of the aged cheddar there. And
do you know how much gold cheese sells for?
Should know. Is it the 200?
I'm not sure actually. I think it's 500.
500?
I think so.
I feel like people would be selling that.
Why is there not a why is there not a sell price on that?
Can I hold down Alt? Cheese is shareable. I knew that. I think it's a couple hundred, but
I can double check.
For a moment, I thought it was a trick question. I was gonna say 1, but that would have been silly. I don't frequently sell my
750 gold.
750?
Yeah.
How come people don't sell that, B? I guess
this is amazing. Are you kidding?
I mean,
2,500 HP.
Yeah,
that's pretty much like how much would you pay for another life? Way more than 750.
Yeah, but I feel like people should sell it more often. Like, there's got to be times where, I mean, sometimes we see games where like 3rd, 4th Roshan, they just leave the cheese on the ground. Why don't you just grab it?
I mean, buybacks are so nerfed now that like cheese is just insanely good.
Yeah.
I would not recommend selling cheese.
I would not recommend selling cheese.
In most situations.
Yeah. 750 is a lot, though. That's more than I thought.
Yeah. I thought it was 500.
Yeah. Well, my ISO was 200, so I was even further off the mark. But Weaver, still this rich scarab here. He's going to grab himself a Heart of Tarrasque.
It's hard to push into the Venom Wards. What they need to do is just split push.
Yeah.
Weaver needs to go to a different lane because he does a ton of damage to towers.
Yeah.
Wow, he has a dayless. Dang, he is stacked. He's going to no boots build. What a man.
Full man mode. Go get Gale.
Look at his gold. 27,000 net worth.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, look how much damage it does. He hit that tower like twice, but oh, Invoker with the setup onto Exist will drop the Meteor and Deafening Blast. Gets popped down to about half hit points, but then they come in with the heals. Dazzle will use a defensive grade, so they're just going to drop this tower. No heals available for Q-Insane. EMP blind, but off the mark. And uh-oh, Ink Visitor, he's in some trouble. He'll be the first to fall. Show me second. Now Aloha Dance.
Everybody.
Oh, yeah, everyone's in trouble. This is just a disaster. I still don't understand how that CM got a BKB. I know you brought it up a few minutes ago, but
yeah,
where did all that gold come from? I guess it is semi-late game here, 45 minutes in. It's not the most.
It was smart by MYM to execute this way, that they push bottom, they have Unicorn push out mid, and as soon as he sets up his Observer wards his Serpent wards or Plague wards, whatever they're called, they just switch mid.
Oh, Merlini up top, Big Numb. He's going to get a solo kill on Puck. That's a gem down, and this is going to be a lane of Rax, though I'm struggling to say that it's enough. I think it's going to be 1 lane of Rax in exchange for 3.
And the same for Megas.
And hold on, let me tab out here and pull out the calculator. Yeah, not worth it. Oh,
I mean,
Meteor.
What else is he going to do, though?
It was a noble effort. I definitely am not faulting Nature's Prophet for that play, but
Unicorn busting out the
cheese! 750 gold value.
Use that Mjolnir, buddy.
And yeah, they'll finish up Mirana.
That's Megas.
Oh man, Ace. Where you going, Ace? There's the time lapse. And oh, this Weaver dude, it's just he's dirty.
I like the no boots build.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Oh,
the Sunstrike.
So Insane, they played very well in the early game. I think their draft came a little bit short though with the position 1 Mirana, as well as the Mirana and Nature's Prophet. I think is 0 and 3 today.
Yeah, it's not good. Position 1 Nature's Prophet. At least one team in all 3 of our games has tried drafting it, and every single time it's lost handily.
It's a little, it's not greedy enough, it's not snowbally enough, it's not enough lane control. Like, Nature's Prophet isn't going to win his lane. He might break even at best, but he's not going to win it.
Yeah, I would say the position 1 Mirana is good if you have a really aggressive tri-lane, like one where you can use that position 1 to secure kills. You know, you're paired with 2 very aggressive supports, maybe a Bane, some other follow-up, and you can set up with those arrows and then start to transition into a hard carry. But just doing this kind of free farm, okay, SLTV, you get yours, I'll get mine. SLTV is going to win every time, honey. It's not happening.
didn't even get hers.
Yeah, she didn't even get hers in this game. SLTV just straight shut her down.
It's not good at trading though. I completely agree. Like, you should not trade free farm Mirana for pretty much any other free farm hero in the game.
Yeah.
As long as it's decent carry.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not good. So, like, SLTV won the bottom lane. This is like a Hail Mary push here. I'm surprised they're trying to defend this. I guess with that 1 lane of racks down up top, they're feeling
the YOLO push.
That glimmer of hope. The Jimmy push.
The YOLO push. Jimmy's not a YOLO pusher.
He's not a YOLO pusher?
No.
Jimmy, what would Jimmy do in this scenario?
Try backdoor to throne or something. That's more Jimmy play.
It's more Jimmy style. He did retweet that picture of you bench pressing yesterday, by the way.
He would have tried backdoor top with like a HOD creep with Necronomicon or something. That's what he would do, and then he'd have 5 people DOT on the Necro and go in. Okay, that's a Jimmy play.
All right, that's the Jimmy play. All right.
Jimmy is not about brute force. He's about the finesse. That's a brute force push mid. That's the opposite of a Jimmy play.
Okay, you know what? You're right. What was I thinking? That really is the opposite of Jimmy style.
He only brute forces at the gym.
Yeah, the only brute force is at the gym. We're slowly bringing Demon as like his spirit is the third co-caster here. Every cast is a tri-cast.
Classic Jimmy.
Classic Jimmy. So that is game 3 for the day.
Insane.
And,
they need to work on their
Insane.
draft. That's about. I mean, their play was pretty good. Like, CM got a BKB.
Yeah.
Potom did decently well with the farm that she was given.
Invoker pooped on that puck.
Invoker pooped on everybody
Dude,
for the first 15 minutes.
Just showed him.
Yeah.
But then SLTV got Blink, and that was the turning of the tide.
Yes. I mean, if you can get away with the second pick SLTV and they won't punish you for it, like, if you let him farm a Blink, you're in for a really poor time. Like, SLTV is not that good at tri-laning, and he's not that good at farming.
Right.
So he succeeded in the tri-lane and he farmed a very fast transit Blink. So if that happens, then SLTV is amazing.
I mean, and part of the problem in this game as well is MYM had a dual core and Q-Insane basically had a single core, and their single.
I don't even know if it was dual cores. Like, they had Puck too.
Yeah, Puck, a triple core versus a dual core. Yeah, I guess you can consider Invoker.
Well, and those heroes are garbage with items.
Yeah.
Like Nature's Prophet and Potom, they're good at killing and farming up at the same time, but they're not good with just 1-for-1 farm with a
raw farm. Yeah, not like again, Weaver and Nature's Prophet, they were trading blow for blow up top, but we saw how that worked out. Nature's Prophet just couldn't transition it into anything too scary. Yeah, he has a Shadow Blade. He went for that Necro book, but we talked about how that just wasn't really a good kind of Rat Dota style of game. And I mean, that Necro book, I don't want to say it was a wasted expenditure, but
I think the Shadow Blade was a wasted expenditure.
Yeah, that more than the Necro book.
I think, yeah, if they had a sheep and they could get some picks and they can try and limit Ace's farm. Did Ace even die that game? He died twice. Okay, yeah. But he had like over 50% net worth of the next guy.
Right. I mean, what did that Shadow Blade on Nature's Prophet do that game? Did it secure any kills that he wouldn't have gotten anyway?
That was a gold sink.
Not that I saw. Did it save him any time it wouldn't have? Maybe once or twice, but
that was a big gold sink.
Hard to value that for a 3,000 gold.
I mean, he needed like to be 6-slotted with a rapier or something too.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely true.
Well, impressive effort by Insane. They were a lot better than I expected them to be, but I think a lot of them were old players from last season. I just think they're rebranded as Insane.
Yeah, yeah. So let's take a look here. What's coming up last? We've got one more game, and it is slated to start in just about 10 minutes. We've got Relax versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So
relax, you're doing fine.
Relax, you're doing fine, bro. You're doing great. So yeah, thank you for joining us here for our StarLadder EU coverage. And remember, guys, we do have the Beyond the Summit subreddit up now. Check us out, reddit.com/r/BeyondTheSummit. If you want to ask Merlini here some questions, he'll be happy to hop on, maybe respond a little bit. We're using it as kind of a platform for Q&A, and we're going to be using it more and more as we have more content coming up in the future. So